So time for the bowl final here at the Beijing leg of the Asian Sevens Series 2014. China in the red take on Singapore in the black. Mike Rihu with you, and Diaries, Hong Kong Director of Coaching. Who do you fancy in this matchup?
I think the home team, China, have got to be favourites. They've probably underachieved this tournament and should have won and probably a place in the quarterfinals. So they'll be looking to finish their tournament and their weekend with a little bit of silverware in the cabinet, I think, for the local crowd.
Yeah. Narrowly lost to the Philippines yesterday, 21-19. Gave Japan a bit of a go too, and then beat Malaysia this morning. So Liu Zi kicks off. Oh, it's a big hit first up too on poor old Mohamed Zaki. Got absolutely hammered. So he's a hardy customer, so up he gets and away he goes. Spinning it wide down the left now. Here's a Deng Tao, scored 2 tries in this tournament. Feng Wenru, and Liu can't handle. Tries to put a boot to it, but it's a penalty to China. Liu comes away quickly. And that's a nice floating pass out to Ma Chong. And he goes in for the opening try. I think it's Ma Chong out there. No, it's not. Very hard to read the red numbers on the red jerseys.
Yeah, great start to the game. Very physical, as they've started every game actually, Mike. China. As I said earlier, a little bit disappointed with the overall performance. As you said, got close to, gave Japan a game yesterday, and certainly should have beaten the Philippines, being 19-0 up and losing 21-19. A disappointing weekend, but I think we'll see a dominant China now finishing the tournament.
Singapore's captain Daniel Mark Chow has been invalided out. Walking around with a leg brace to try and get some sympathy from the ladies. Seems to be working all right as well.
Did he start the tournament, or has he been out since?
No, he did. He played quite a few minutes yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Well, that's a touch to Singapore player, so we'll play on. Drop ball though, pretty untidy. Even though the Singapore player didn't mean to touch it, touched his body, so fair enough. Good call from the referee. Zaki, Butler, and Tan there in the front row for Singapore. There's Liu Zi. He's scored 26 points. Done a pretty good job. Standoff for China. There's Max Takanoa. Brian Ng, it's good to see him back to full fitness too after a little wrist injury. Ashraf having to go down on the ball there. And China putting some real pressure on at the breakdown, managing to get it back on their side. Going in reverse at the moment, but still retaining the ball. And this time it goes wide. Big strong runner, this lad. It's Zhang Xiao, and I believe he was the man who scored the first try, so we'll credit him with 2, 4 for the tournament.
Powerful looking winger, Mike, and real strong in the contact area, but great play again out wide by China to create the space for him. The initial work done at the far side, on the far side of the pitch, near the touchline, and some great passing to put him free. So yeah, looking ominous for Singapore at this stage of the game.
It was noticeable they didn't panic there, did they? There was a lot of pressure on them defensively, but they kept their heads, China, and just held on to the ball. Nice and calm. Side kick off to Zaki. This time he doesn't attempt to take it with 2 hands. Ashraf tries to step inside, but gets caught nicely by the Chinese defence. Butler, a little diagonal run. To Blandon Tan. Playing the forwards. He's been in and out of the squad, Blandon. Vianung, he's got some pace. Let's see what he can do. It's the break and gets a nice pass to Butler, but Butler can't handle it. And, Vianung's gone down again with another injury. So send alarm bells through the Singapore camp. He's all right.
Looked promising then.
Did.
Looked really promising. Like, you know, Singapore very well. Seem to have a number of first timers or a number of youngsters in this squad, or most of them been involved before.
Yeah, no, there's apart from perhaps Kai, number one, who hasn't found his way on the field yet. Pretty settled squad. Welcoming back guys like Nick Yao and Landon Tan into the fold from last year, earlier this year, but pretty settled. Here's the steamer on the outside again. And Zhang Qiao gets himself a hat-trick in 4 minutes play. All in a day's work for the winger.
Young player, pace, lots of power as well, and I've missed him the rest of the tournament by the look of it. I'm not sure.
No, he's just come from nowhere. He has been in a couple of the legs. I remember he was in KL, that's for sure. But, not sure if he got much game time. They had Wong Wei and Ma Chong on the wing there on that occasion. So looks like Zhang Qiao is making a bid to make this position his own. Good conversions from Liu. It's a good gap before half time, 19 points to 0. Oh, interesting performance from the young Korean boys earlier on, Dai. They'll be taking on Hong Kong in the final. It's good to see them.
Yeah, they've had a great season, coming back into the Asian fold and sitting at the top table where they should be. Indeed, what the result has resulted in means, Mike, is that they've actually certainly finished outright second in front of Japan in the overall Asian series. It means that Hong Kong have sort of won their second Asian series in 3 years, but Hong Kong will want to be winning the series and going undefeated. But it means that Korea now have secured their spot in the World Qualifiers in World Series qualifiers in Hong Kong.
With a team of university students too, no less. So just a couple of them have played the circuit before, so it's great to see the new seedlings coming through.
Tough for Korea this weekend in that they have to leave 10 players at home because of their domestic corporate club competition.
Here's Dakano, breaks over halfway, tries to spill the ball out for Ishraf. Ishraf gets a boot to it. Lots of cover coming back here for China. Liu decides to pump it into touch. Fair enough. He's got a 19-point lead, and that will be the score at half-time. China 19, Singapore 0.
Good start for China, and there were signs, Mike, in that first half that given a little bit of possession, that Singapore could create a few chances of their own. So hopefully they can get the first score of the second half and make it a bit of competition as they run through the second half.
Well, we've seen China get stuck on 19 points before against the Philippines. That was an unusual game. Rulof puts here before from the UAE. Swede African.
Yeah, they seem to have a few South Africans getting involved in UAE rugby at the moment. Trying to develop their local Emirati-based players.
It's a tough road to hoe. Some of them are coming through. It seems like there's not as much consistency as you'd need.
Yeah, it's the physical difference now between the top teams. It's evident when you look at the Emirati boys and the team itself. They are lacking that conditioning base that a lot of the top sides have, and the physicality and the athleticism. And always difficult in a modern game of sevens to even compete. I mean, we're looking at these two teams now, China and Singapore. You know, you've got athletic guys on it, particularly China, powerful, strong. And UAE are struggling at the moment, and it's going to be a few years of development really, and commitment from the players more than anything as well, to spend time in the gym and spend time at the track and become physically more competent for these tournaments.
So Singapore staring down the barrel in this bowl final, 19 points down at half time. Kicking long to the 22. He's the star try scorer of the game so far. Chow. Oh, a little bit of magic there from Liu. Gets it inside too to Liu Junkoi. And it's a run-in as well here. It's not number 4, is it?
No, different try score. I can see number 4. Only reason I know Mike is number 4 is back in.
No, I mean try number 4.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant. Sorry.
Let's just check his number, because it's a bit of a mystery with those Chinese jerseys. Could actually be. I have no idea. Maybe Lu Peng, the number 9. Anyway, the first try in the second half goes to China, underlining their dominance in this game. So here's the youngster Kai, 19 years old, doing his national service. A couple of the Eurasian boys, Max Ducano and Kai, doing their national service.
I'm being released by the army to compete now. Is that the norm, Mike? Or?
Yeah, well, if they're competing for the country, I think they get some sort of status. Here's Kai making a good tackle. Just trying to go on the attack again. They spill the ball though, just 5 metres from the line. So interesting women's final coming up. Japan beating China in their pool game last night. Somewhat of a surprise, and they'll get to match up again in the women's final. Should be an interesting game.
I think it's going to be one of the more exciting ones of the afternoon, actually, Mike. As I commentated on those semi-finals, Japan, I believe, are the most improved team here. They, unfortunately for them now, that it looks as if China has secured the Asian series, even with a second spot, because Japan finished third in Hong Kong. Although it could come out to count back if Japan can upset it. So it's all to play for, the Asian Sevens series and Japan's first win on the series.
China on attack again. Good work at the breakdown, clearing out the ball quickly. And that's a good option, although the pass just not finding the hands there of the Chinese attackers. But nice step inside. That could be Fin Wen Rungu, is it?
Number 8.
Number 8,
yeah.
Fu Yingli. His third try of the tournament. Interesting background from him, an ex-javelin thrower. Most of them ex-sprinters. But, I guess you need some pace and balance to throw the javelin as well.
Yeah, and some power. It's incredible the kind of athlete that China are able to produce. And these are all sort of a number of players, the top quality athletes from the field of athletics, javelin, whether it be sprinting. It's impressive how they adapt to a ball game very quickly as well.
Great kick from Liu. He's done a really good job this tournament. I haven't seen him so far in the 7 series, but one guy has put his hand up, that's for sure. Kia takes the ball well, gets it to Ducano. Naresh is on the field. Little knock on though, first touch from him, I think. The referee says play on. Brendan Tan to Nick Yao. It's a good pass and a set up to Ishraf. Oh, and some good speed on the outside as well. So Singapore showing some glimpses of what they're able to do. And stretching out there, Jay Heichel, and getting the try. Well done from the Spedster on the side.
Great to see Singapore haven't given up, and some fantastic play back in their own half to free the winger up, and some good pace and just about getting it.
Jay Heichel, who played for the Asian Pacific Dragons this year at the Hong Kong Tens, one of their guest Asian players. Did a reasonable job, I think. A pretty high standard of play there at the Tens.
Certainly is, with lots of top team invitation teams coming in from all over the world these days, and great to see that the Asian Dragons are blooding and encouraging these young kids to play in these top sides and alongside some of the top players, world players that come to the Hong Kong Tens.
Singapore electing to kick deep. Yo. Wide to Zhang Chao. Can't get the pass to his teammate this time though. Lu Ping. So it will be a Singapore line out. That one up at the set piece there, Singapore. So China have the ball inside their 22. No penalty though. So Ishraf takes it quickly. Naresh holds on to the ball, engages the defence. Yeah, goes to ground. Up by Kai, and here's the ball coming out to Ishraf. Brendan Tan whips it inside to Jay Heichel. Oh, that's a lovely little chip kick from Max Ducano. Oh, just bouncing too high. And China, they grabbed the ball and thrust it out over the line. And they've won the bowl final. Good performance from the People's Republic of China. They've been great hosts this weekend. And they cap it off with a piece of silverware. The bowl for China with a 31 points to 7 victory over Singapore.